Hi, this is Alan with ICT Billet. Today we're working on this 1985 C10 that we're putting a 2017 Fireball truck engine in. So it's a Magnuson supercharged 5.3 liter. We'll be installing an accessory bracket to add an R4 AC compressor that originally came with this truck, other than it's going to be a serpentine pulley version. And then we're adding a hydraulic power steering pump that originally came with this truck and running the line set over to it, and then having an alternator here off the LT series, which is a stock position. It's real similar. So let's take a closer look at the accessory bracket. Here we have our front and rear accessory bracket, M8 bolt, which is flange. We have 3 socket cap bolts, 1 flathead bolt, M10 washers, M10 bolts, nuts, spacers, or step spacers for our 3 idler pulleys, and we have a 4-step instruction. Now we're going to be installing the power steering pump and the AC compressor to the front rear bracket here. So let's look at the power steering pump that came with the 85 C10. If you notice the top 2 holes here, they're almost level with the top of the pump. But if you're going to try to reuse your LS truck pump, you'll notice these are clocked differently. And the output line is a little different. So you'll want to try to retain your original power steering pump style. So now we'll take the pump, move them here. You can see these are shorter, so these are going to need the longer bolts and the longer spacers. So we'll use the long ones here. And these are going to be your 4 shortest M10 bolts and 4 shortest spacers. Now we're going to install the AC compressor. So we're going to use these socket cap bolts here. Go ahead and install all the washers on them. Then we're going to grab our R4 AC compressor. We're going to be looking at this plug-in here on the front. And this is actually going to be pointing down. And install our M10 nuts here. And take our rear bracket here, this side here with the countersink, it's going to go forward. You can see this relief here for the nut. Just install it here on this pump lug. Put the nut on, and then get it tight, but not tight that it can't move. You want to still be able to adjust this, so get it tight enough that it doesn't move too much, but that you can still move it. Now we're going to install this bracket assembly to the engine. So we're going to use our longest M10 bolt here to this hole, our longest spacer. Install the spacer onto the bolt. And then this bolt is going to go right underneath this water pump, right back here, lined up with this lug. Then we're going to install our M8 bolt here with our 4.18 spacer right here on the bottom, and it's going to go into the engine block. Next is our M10 140 bolt with a 3.5 inch spacer. And we go right through here, install the spacer, and then you got a 0.86 spacer that's going to go on the rear. Now we're going to install the M8 flathead bolt with the 0.86 spacer. Now we're going to install the alternator with these 2 M10 120 bolts. Get your bolt started. Then you have 2 1.5 inch spacers. It's going to go right behind the alternator. Now install your 2 M10 nuts on the rear. Now we're going to install the 3 idler pulleys. So we're going to use the M10 50mm bolts. Put the thick washers onto each bolt. Now take your pulley and your step spacer. Install the step spacer into the pulley. Put the bolt in it. Put that through here. Use your M10 nut to put on the back side of all 3 pulleys. Now we're going to install this LS series power steering pulley. It's the same belt offset as the old pulleys, other than it just looks a little bit different. So install the pulley on there, then we're going to press it on. Next, we're going to install our belt. Now this is complete.